How's it going, brother?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Woke up early this morning, helped my old man clean the pool, and now sipping on some cognac to
Nice.
enjoy my morning. But hey, man, it's been a long time. I know I haven't seen your face in what 2, 3 years now, so it's
Yeah.
always good to see you, man. You know what? The funny thing was when I first saw you, I couldn't put together who you look like to me because me and my cousins have this tradition of saying who our actor or celebrity counterparts is, and I
hmm
finally like found out like years later, you're like young Mark Wahlberg. Like, that's who
Yeah.
you are. You're young
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
That's been like the repeated thing is like that would be who I look like, and then um Cecilia would be like the girl from Friends. I don't remember her name. It's not.
Oh, yeah. Well, to me, Cecilia, your fiance, she looks like the chick from Gilmore Girls. That's what she looks like to me.
Oh,
Yeah, Alexis
yeah.
Bettel. Sorry if I
Uh,
screwed that up, but yeah, she looks a lot like her.
those are like
That's who she looks like. Yeah, but no, you were. I'm like when I first saw you, I'm like, God, he looks like I couldn't put it together, but no, finally I by just watching an old like the Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio and
mhm.
and young Mark Wahlberg. I'm like, that's who Adam is. That's who he is. Yes, finally. Just for some reason I couldn't I couldn't put it together.
Yeah. That it was there was like a huge difference between young Mark Wahlberg and then Mark Wahlberg so much that he just is identified as young. And then like Leonardo DiCaprio, he has his young phase, and
Oh
then he just
yeah.
has his adult and forward phase.
It's so weird because you see, especially if you're a big fan of Titanic,
hmm
like you just see like DiCaprio there and you're like, oh man, what a dream. And then you see him in Catch Me If You Can also, and you're like, oh, what a dream. And then of course you see him in, in Wolf of Wall Street, and you're like, wow, what an asshole. Like, oh, but hey man, it's thank you for doing this. I appreciate it, man. But let's
Yeah,
obviously for those who are listening, they're like, who the fuck is this guy from all the way live from California and now you're living in Ohio, yeah?
yeah. I moved out here at the end of 2018, so it's been
Nice.
a few years.
How's been adapting to obviously the changes to the Ohio weather and then the people and all that good stuff?
So basically, um, the weather is the most significant difference. And then like it snowed. I think this past month we got the most snow. Like last week,
Hmm.
we got 3 snow days for school. Like
Wow.
they even the colleges got snowed out 2 of those days.
Hmm.
And today it's like 60 degrees. So
Well, I understand that. That's how it is over here. Yeah, we got obviously we all know what happened in Texas, the whole
yeah.
snow debacle. Man, that was horrible. Well, thankfully it didn't happen here. Like we were the only city that had power, and our
Huh.
power didn't go out at all. Well, the reason being is because back in 2011 we had a similar like snowstorm slash freeze that happened, and instead of our electricity going out, our pipes bursted, and it ruined a whole bunch of places, like because their pipes were rupturing, like hydrants in the street would randomly just like would burst. And it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like freaky because you just hear it. You can hear it from miles away. It sounds like a bomb going off.
Mm-hmm.
And then the city after that was like, all right, everything that's like plumbing, electrical, or anything, pretty much we need to like rebuild it to where it can withstand like negative-degree weather, which is fucking weird because it's the desert city of El Paso. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's how we were able to. And plus, we're the only city in Texas that also has its own like electricity company, El Paso Electric. So they were able to, I guess, preserve everything and keep us running while the rest of Texas just was in a shithole pretty much. And it was just
Mm-hmm.
horrible. Man, there were people dying in their garages because they were turning on their
Mm-hmm.
cars for the heater, but they didn't open the garage door
Mm-hmm.
and dying of carbon monoxide. And it's just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So horrible.
I So recently I've gotten into stocks and like trading stocks and everything. And I
Oh,
like when you started talking about how um you started like losing power in like power companies. That
hmm
reminded me of a news article that I saw
yeah.
where a family was suing one of the energy companies for their kid dying, like freezing to death.
Damn. No
And
shit.
I remember that brought up the memory of like a job that I had, and I had worked in sales for a business development company, and
Mm-hmm.
they promoted one of the Texas energy companies. I'm not gonna say the name because
Yeah.
I hated
hmm
that job, but
Yeah.
like um they were promoting a Texas company who was trying to expand to Ohio.
hmm
And I just thought like in the term of stocks, like that would just suck for them.
No, yeah, it would.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad I didn't even look into that because
Yeah.
like they have a stadium. If you like the energy company has a stadium and like
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I know which company
yeah.
you're talking about. But I
I
was
don't
gonna
have to
mention the
get
last thing
into
I
that,
hate
but
is for them to come after me over a little podcast that barely even has like 100 views per episode for right now.
mhm,
But we dream bigger, so we'll get there eventually. But
I do.
no, yeah, man. But no, it's just been a crazy wild week, man. It was so horrible. Like obviously we have a mutual friend of ours that lives in Dallas, and then I have family out in Dallas, San Antonio, and it was so horrible because first off, like houses were like at 20 degrees in
Hmm.
temperature because there's no heat, no gas, and they had to like shut off gas. So
Hmm.
you couldn't get anywhere, go anywhere, do anything. You had to literally survive on what you had, or if you had to, walk to the stores. But even then, I was just thinking about like, man, all that poor milk that's going bad in the refrigerator. That's all I was thinking about. Like, man, the milk, what a waste.
It's probably
What are they
best
gonna
at
do?
this point to just take it out of the refrigerator and put it
Pretty much.
outside.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like put it in the snow, might as well. But it was just a crazy situation. I mean, we rarely get snow as it is. Like it's
Hmm.
once every 4 or 5 years that we get it. And I remember the last time we had snow was actually my senior year of high school. And it was during Christmas break, and we used to go to this golf course all the way up on the mountain because
Hmm.
we have the Franklin mountains, which are a part of the Rockies. Or they like the end segregated cousin of the Rockies.
Hmm.
And so we always used to go up there, and it'd be like up to your knees in snow. But of course, recently I guess they kind of caught on to what we were doing, so they built a huge wall, a fence, and a sign that says "Trespassers Beware." You will
Wow.
get fined. So it's like trying to ruin all our fun. But like weather, bro, it happens. It
Yeah.
does crazy
Like,
shit. But
not in California, but everywhere else it does.
and not in California. So you were born in California. Am I
Yep. Yep. Born
And
and raised.
where did you grow up? You grew up in which part of California? Southern California or North
No, it was northern. It was Modesto. It was
Modesto, California?
like so California has the shape of California, and then there's a circle inside of it that's the Central Valley. And I live like right in the middle of the Central Valley.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
when I first met you and you said you're from Modesto, I recognized the town. Like, oh yeah, that's the town from Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yeah.
That's all I knew anything of Modesto. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
okay, I know what that is, but I
Hmm.
doubt it looks like what it is in the movie.
Hmm. Yeah,
No.
Monsters vs. Aliens does not do it justice. But like um George Lucas's movie, he made American Graffiti, and that's
Yeah.
based off of Modesto.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's more accurate of
well,
how it was.
the Skywalker Ranch, I'm sure is like pretty close to there, no?
Hmm.
As residents.
Hmm.
That's insane. But okay, so how was it? Obviously, you're a 2000s kid.
Yep.
You grew up in Modesto. How was it like? Obviously, tell us where like growing up and what made you become you, and then well, I don't know. We'll go down the line from there, and we'll
Ooh,
just
okay.
spurt.
So Modesto, I think, is like top five for like transient and like homeless population in
Mm,
like the whole country.
yeah.
And so we have like homeless shelters and then people who don't. really go to homeless shelters. And I went to a Catholic school like my whole life,
Yeah. Hmm.
K through 8th, no, K through
Yeah.
12,
Hmm.
and we would do service hours.
Yeah.
And so those service hours were majority spent at homeless shelters
Yeah.
or like fundraisers or food drives for homeless.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that, I guess, is what sparked my interest in like homeless ministry and
Yeah.
like helping out people and like continuing to do that after high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
now you're good.
I remember, no, I remember a few years ago when I went to Skid Row in LA. It's just bizarre how big the problem is, how
Hmm.
huge it is. It's unbelievable how many homeless there are in not just in LA, but in all of California. I remember when I visited Vacaville, which is where Emily lives, like currently, I just, even there was a little part where I can tell, like, oh, he's homeless, he's homeless, he's homeless, he's
Hmm.
homeless. And it's it's a really bizarre and just sad thing to look at when you realize, like, some of these people, like, obviously have mental illness, they have nowhere to go, families threw them out for A or B reason, and you want to help them, but at the same time, sometimes your help won't even do anything just because they're either so far gone, or they're just scratching and clawing to survive.
Some of
So,
them, well, okay, so I've met a couple, like I've just like hung out with them. Like I
mhm,
used to do youth baseball and I would hang out at the baseball fields and everything,
mhm,
and they would too, and I would like hang out with them. And a lot of them, they are either really well off and they enjoy their lifestyle,
yeah,
um, or they're on their way to doing that,
mhm,
and they enjoy it. They have fun, and um, they love seeing the compassion that people show them. And it's not a good situation to be in, but
no,
it's
of course
it's
not.
good to see that they can find joy in it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Honestly, that's probably the first time. Well, not the first time. Or I've seen several instances or heard several instances of that, but no, but it's kind of I guess, like, in a sense, like, it's something that us normal people that have normal lifestyles, it's hard to comprehend, not having a roof over your head, or not being able to have a permanent
Hmm.
place to, like, sleep or eat or have guaranteed income, can just
Yeah, and
enjoy that.
the odds are that they probably grew up with like all the things that they needed or most of the things that they needed, and then something happened and it got them into that mindset of like I can
Yeah.
survive off of nothing. And
Mhm.
so that's like their motivation is that
Yeah.
like they have these resources that they could go to, and they choose not to.
That's insane. That just goes to a lot of, I think, power of the mind, and how much the mind, if you believe hard enough, like, things you can accomplish.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, there's just so many instances where you see, like, whether it's whoever, and you just see, like, how did you get there so far? It's simple. I believed in myself so much that it's almost like willing something into existence. It's, in a sense, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's like playing God, but in a sense, you will something so much that it happens. It happens pretty much. Like, I was watching this show. It's an HBO show. It's called Young Pope. It's with Jude Law. It's pretty much about an American pope who has kind of these radical ideas. But there's a scene where literally one of the guys he's giving his confession to, he asks him, like, how did you know you would become pope? He's like, I stared at my spiritual director. He could have been pope, but I just prayed to God and I kept praying. And he's like, not him, me, not him, me. And then I kept praying so hard, and I looked at the others. I'm like, not him, me, not him, me. And literally, there's a scene also. He's like, I was praying so hard, I nearly shit my pants. And he says that. But, like, literally, even though, granted, it's a film, I think that's honestly how mind over matter works. If you really, like, focus enough and dedicate yourself so much to a craft or whatever it is you're doing, that literally that thought and that belief will willingly take form and it'll become into
Mm.
existence. It's such a bizarre thing the brain can do. Like I think, for example, like with COVID-19 and all that happening, I think if you really will and believe that you're going to be okay, granted, this is not to say like, oh, this isn't the case for everyone, but I think if you're really scared of getting it, I think it's going to affect you a lot more because you're already mentally like shaken from getting the virus. Whereas if you know, like, okay, I'm gonna be okay, I'm doing the right steps, I'm being healthy, I'm exercising, I'm being out in the sun or doing saunas, taking vitamins, then I think if you believe that so much that you know you're gonna be okay, then I think pretty much that you will be okay if you believe hard enough and you will that into existence. And of course, there's other instances where that doesn't happen, but
Right.
you understand my flow, right?
It still happens.
Hmm.
It, like there's there's people who um I don't know. Yeah, let's avoid the virus for now. Let's
Yeah,
just
let's avoid that.
not.
Lord knows we already been combating and hearing about that thing for way too long now. But all right, so you're into pretty much homeless ministry, and you're seeing these people and just living them lives and enjoying it. So then, how did you come to terms in not only pursuing that ministry and in a sense pursuing God and not only knowing Him better, but understanding what your purpose is in life for God?
Wow. Okay, so there's um there was a lot like of obviously there's a lot of homeless with me growing up and
Yeah.
like seeing that there are ways that I can try to help like one of the nation's biggest problems or I don't know. I did net and then I moved out to Ohio and I met this guy named Bobby and
Yeah.
he has his ministry. It's a nonprofit and he has the message "You are loved" and he tries to distribute that everywhere and mainly that's with homeless.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that's like the starting points because we're just getting started in this huge project.
Hmm.
And so he's starting with like homeless shelters and just people that you would see every day. So he has, oh, actually, we just got this mural finished up. We painted a mural inside the St. Vincent de Paul
Hmm.
shelter hotel, and um, yeah, it's weird how these opportunities just kind of like fall into my hands. Like
Yeah.
I somehow managed to meet Bobby at the right time to where now I have a ton of responsibility in this ministry
Hmm.
and um, how it's led to just me kind of improving myself so that I could be more well equipped
Hmm.
to do the ministry and just in general more well equipped for life because
Yeah.
like I I live away from my parents and I'm 20 and like
Yeah.
I decided not to go to school for 2 years and then
Hmm.
now I am going to school. I don't know. I've put on a lot of responsibility. So prayer is what I feel like keeps me well equipped for the life that I have because like
Yeah.
on net they would say that the whole system of net ministries wouldn't work out written on paper and somehow it did and that was
Yeah.
probably through prayer. And so I think
Yeah.
I've continued that just a little bit into my everyday life.
Yeah, man, that's really that's awesome. That's really awesome. And that's interesting too. I mean, I've heard and I've seen some ministries trying to cater to the homeless, but it's more of, I mean, for me personally, I've seen more of they these people need help, but not the help you're willing to give them. Like it's more of like looking, I mean, the way I've seen it sometimes, it's looking at them like they're not even human. It's looking at them in ways of like, that it's in a sense, it felt like to me when I signed up to do this. I don't want to mention this name, but let's just say I left feeling very pissed off rather than feeling like enjoyed, like I helped someone, just because the way that this this organization was treating them. And I think more you need to cater to more to just what I just think you need to be like a friend to them. Like for example, my youngest brother, there's a spot. It's kind of weird. El Paso's kind of weird. So like there's El Paso, and then there's little spots of New Mexico. Like it obviously borders Juarez, Mexico. Then it borders Sunland Park, New Mexico, and then there's Santa Teresa, New Mexico, and then there's Chaparral, New Mexico. Sorry, my Mexicanness came out. Um, and there's always the same old homeless guy that's been there. He's been there for like the past 15 years. He's been at the exact same spot, like always there. And I always, if I ever have like any cash on me, I always give it to him. And one time I didn't have cash, and I pulled away, and then my brother was like screaming at me, my youngest brother, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we're going to the store." He's like, "Well, that guy was holding a sign. He needs help." I'm like, "We need to help him." I'm like, "Oh, mijo, I don't have any cash. I don't have money. I can't give him anything." And he's like, "No, but what if he's all by himself? What if he doesn't have a family? What if he doesn't have a friend?" And just the tears from knowing that dude did not have a friend. Just honestly, it kind of hits you in the core to the point of, one, the innocence of a child, and two, just the fact that I think that's what honestly clicked with me, of like, that's what these people need more. They need more someone to show them like they genuinely care, not to give you something just to, oh yeah, I won't give you this if unless you don't. So literally, I went to the mall because I needed to go pick up stuff, because back then when this happened, I was still a bartender. I'm not a bartender anymore, or at least professionally. I still bartend at home. But so I went to go pick up some stuff, and then I went to a quick ATM and I pulled up like $40 in cash. And then I went back to him, and pretty much I told him, "Hey man, come here." I'm saying, "Here's $40. Like, there's a Specs right there." And the Specs is like an alcohol and cigar place. And I'm like, "Get whatever the hell you want. I don't care what it is, man. Just make sure you relax, get some sleep, and enjoy yourself." And he's like, "Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. No problem." My brother was like, "I want to be like," he shouts like, "I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend." And he's like, "We could use more." And the dude answers like, we could use more friends nowadays." He's like, "Well, good, because now you're my friend." And we just drove off. But just the joy, and obviously my brother then asked me, "What? Oh, by the way, why'd you tell him to go to Specs?" I'm like, so we can have a good night's sleep, so we can go and be comfortable, because he's 8 years old. So but no, just seeing this, the gratification of like me telling him, "Hey bro, here's $40, get whatever you want, it's yours." Not telling him, "Hey, you need to buy food or you need to get this and that." I'm like, "No, like, do me a favor, go to Specs," because I know what he wants the money for. I know what he wants. Like, I know what he wants. It's like, "Here you go, man." And then of course, obviously, my brother looking at him and telling him like, "Well, you're my friend now," and just seeing the look on his face, like like almost, it's like just seeing the heart of a child, like the way it impacts other people. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about the homeless ministry is if you really truly care, they see it and they know it, and they feel it in their hearts, like people do actually give a shit about me.
Hmm. Yeah, the ministry is it's mainly towards spreading that message and less about like giving out just like money or food or something. It's less
Hmm.
of physical needs more than it is like a spiritual and like a social, because those
Okay.
like humans are like social animals, and
Of
like
course.
yeah, they have more than just physical needs, and that's what a lot of people see is like on the outside, that they need things,
Yeah.
and so they give them those things because they want to help, and that's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah.
uh, but the ministry is more focused towards the spiritual and
Yeah.
the mental and like all the needs that people have. But like we do give out t-shirts, and like we're
Yeah.
working on blankets, and we just came out with masks and just a bunch of stuff so that they could see the message but
Yeah.
also have some of those physical
Yeah,
needs.
have and receive. So it's to receive the message both spiritually and like physically.
Hmm.
That's really really good. And when did you mentioned his name's Bobby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram. Good photographer, by the
Hmm.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when did he start that? Because it sounds you said it's fairly new, but you said he started even
Yeah.
before you got there.
So when I met him, he had the basic plan for his own clothing line because he was
Hmm.
already doing so well in photography that he
Yeah.
thought he could market it well. And I like met him, and then I didn't talk to him for a long time, and then we somehow ended up moving into the same house.
Yeah.
And he decided that he wanted it to say "You are loved" on it, and then he sort of worked that into like that's a message that needs to be shared with everybody. And then he um, turned it into a nonprofit, and that was the most recent step. We're working on building it up as a
Hmm.
nonprofit organization instead of just like clothes.
Hmm. And what's it called?
You Are Loved Mission,
You Are
and the
Love Mission?
website is just youarelovedmission.com if you
Oh
want to
well,
check it out.
oh well, there you go. Then I will check it out for
Hmm.
sure, for sure, for sure. But no, that's especially how old? How obviously you're 20, so that's already like
Yeah.
damn. But
No,
how old is he?
he he's 20. He'll be 26, I think, next month, and
Damn.
he's already lived like 5 lifetimes. It's weird.
Man,
He has
nah,
a
that's
crazy story.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, I gotta get him on here next, just so
Yeah,
I can hear what he has
honestly.
to say. No,
I
but
I've started I've started my own ministry towards
yeah.
uh just it's not homeless at all, but
Hmm.
like it's called Embrace, and it's focused towards the confirmed Catholic youth who
Hmm.
like come out of school or like formation, and they're just like, what do I need to do? Because like on
Yeah.
net, we would get the teens ready for confirmation,
Yeah.
and then they would go through confirmation, and then I've noticed that like one of the biggest things of like the reason that youth fall away from the church or that like people fall away from the church as they're growing
Mhm.
up is
Yeah.
just because they go through confirmation, and whether they consider it a graduation or not, they don't completely understand what they're supposed to do next.
Yeah,
So they just don't do
exactly.
anything.
Yeah, no, and I'm a big advocate for that as well because
Hmm.
I felt that at one point, even when I
Hmm.
did net, because there's like, okay, I have all this stuff. What do I do with it? I don't know what
Hmm.
to do, and I think that honestly is something that I think is very, very like kind of swept under the rug because no one's
Hmm.
talking about it. So that's
Hmm.
very important. So go ahead, continue.
So I'm making like documentaries basically. Well, the first one is going to be about Bobby. It's only like 5 minutes long,
Yeah.
and it's just supposed to be like an invitation because like if they were confirmed, then that means just they went through like formation, which was like people talking to them,
Yeah.
and they went through school, which is people talking to them, and like they probably went to a retreat, which is where people talk to them, and maybe they do some games or something,
Hmm.
and they don't really have the opportunity to see examples of like
Hmm.
good devout Catholics.
Yeah.
They hear all about these people, and they
Hmm.
hear like the teacher will have their story, and they'll tell the
Hmm.
story, and like the student either doesn't care or they watch it and they're like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
What
much.
you're a 35-year-old woman and I'm a 15-year-old man. I
Yeah,
don't.
exactly. It does.
We obviously have different lives here, but like
Exactly.
my goal
No.
with the videos is for them to see that like you could be a completely non like stereotypical
Yeah.
like devout Catholic because like one of the big things I heard growing up is that like the church person, right?
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
there's like stereotypes for these people, and like I just want to show that priests are not like weird people. Like priests
Yeah.
are sometimes like they're hilarious.
Yeah.
There are some
There's
weird people
there's
who turn
there are
into
some weird
priests.
yeah, there are some weird people that do, but there's a lot of them that are also just
Hmm.
normal, regular badasses.
Hmm.
Or
And
normal,
like that
regular
has nothing
badass.
to do with the faith. That's just kind of who
Yeah.
they are. And then there's normal people who are exactly the same way, who chose their vocation, and
Mhm.
whether that's like marriage or like single life or something.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, they're totally normal people, but they're also extremely good Catholics.
Yeah.
And I think confirmed Catholic teens should see more of that.
No, I agree. I agree with that 115%. And I think that's something that lacks, because yeah, I remember going to like, I never went to Catholic school, but I remember going to catechism and confirmation, and they were the examples of these people, but these people were living like lifestyles. It's like, well, that doesn't pertain to me. Like, you're 50 years old. This isn't 1970 or the 1960s anymore. We live in a different age. We live in a different lifestyle. You know, like, to me, I was more affected by not really. I wasn't say I was even affected by other Catholics. I was more affected by people who just were just normal badasses, but were just basically like just good people. Like, for example, I talked about my cousin Mike. I'm pretty sure I may have.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember, but yeah, like that dude. Even though, granted, he's not a devout Catholic, he believes in God, and to him that's enough. But to me, obviously the coolest motherfucking badass I've ever met. But the reason why I looked after him and why I believe I could be a good person and why I needed to shoot for that goal
Hmm.
of attaining for God and doing my part is because, man, I could be like him, what people see, but also I can combine the element of what it make it even better, which is having my faith and
Hmm.
having my beliefs and having my core values and my Catholic values, and also showing people like, yeah, I can be Mike and I can be the church guy and combine them into one, and they're all the same
Hmm.
because I still have the badassness, but I also have the values and the belief, and
Hmm.
then it makes you pretty much. Now, I don't want to say flawless because obviously we're not flawless. We
Hmm.
still we still mess up. We still
Good. Yeah.
fail, but in a sense, it's more relatable and it's more, you can understand it,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
So like imagine Mike's ideas and like Mike's thoughts and everything.
Yeah.
Imagine him completely absorbed into the Catholic faith. How much would that make a difference?
Oh yeah, it makes such a
Hmm.
difference. Like, it makes such a difference. And that's basically what my goal was. My goal was is like, I want to take, yeah, like the ideals, but I want my faith also, and I want my faith. I don't want one to grow and the other one to be left behind, either or. I want them both to grow at the same time. So that way, in a sense, because at the end of the day, we're all human. We have human faults. We have human needs. I'm as guilty as them. But at the same time, I also know what's the most important. What's the most important and what always comes first. Because at the end of the day, without God, I have nothing. You have nothing. We have nothing.
And like with um I don't know, I just the whole like the main specific point of these videos is that your identity is not separate from like your Catholic identity. Like who you are
Hmm.
could just be who you are and Catholic. And like
Yeah.
it's not like who you are and then you do Catholic stuff and you're
Hmm.
like baptized Catholic and you go through confirmation. It's you that's all the same. That's all,
Yeah.
and like people who build up their Catholic faith and like I don't know, go to seminary for 6 years and then don't become a priest, they they have their personalities, and inside of their personalities is the Catholic faith. It's not like they're
Yeah. It's not
Catholic
two
learning and
separates.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really awesome, and I'll be sure to support that. I'll obviously let me
Hmm.
know when you release
Hmm.
those documentaries, and I'll even do what I can to see if I can support that, because I think that's really something that really needs to be addressed so much more. Like, for example, my brother got confirmed, like, I think the summer before or the summer going into when I was going to do my second year of net. And yeah, he's a perfect example. He just doesn't know what to do with it. He just he's just
Right.
okay, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah. So I've like you can't make a whole lot of money off of like YouTube or anything. And
No.
I think my main goal would to be able to do this full time, to like make these videos
Yeah.
and do nothing else. But
Oh
also like
yeah.
help out with like the mission, which is
Of
like another
course.
bit.
Yeah.
But like my job would be to like quit Cheesecake Factory and
Yeah.
work on these videos full
hmm
time. And so I set up,
You're working at Cheesecake Factory.
yeah,
I
it's
love that
pretty
place.
it's pretty nice.
I love that place. It
Highly
pisses
recommend.
me off that we don't have one here. I love it
Yeah.
so much. I love it so
The
much.
it's it's so I used to work at a taco shop
Yeah.
and oh man, the taco shop is like a dumpster compared to
Well, I imagine taco places here, yeah, and trust me, compared to Cheesecake Factory, they're all dumps.
yeah, and
They're all
like
go-
to be honest, well, okay, I'm not gonna say what it is because it's also a huge Texas chain, but
yeah.
like they
Oh,
have like a couple
which one.
locations in Ohio.
I know which one you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah, that's
Oh, that's funny. Oh
but like
Lord.
I really enjoy Cheesecake Factory, but it's not something that I would look into doing
Yeah,
as like
forever.
a career. Like this is
Yeah.
something, the videos are something that I want to do. So I set
Yeah.
up the YouTube channel and then I'm gonna be posting them all in there so that way they're free and like people can watch them just on downtime or whatever.
Yeah. And what is the channel called?
Embrace. I think it might be
Embrace.
Embrace Videos. I can check.
Embrace videos. Let's see. I'll even I'll even see. Let's see.
Let's see here. Oh, maybe I didn't. No, I did. I did. Oh, it's on my laptop. It's not connected to my phone.
Well, I'm looking it up right now currently. Let's see. Obviously, it won't appear on the video, but hey, get people to actually look it up themselves.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
Come on. I think it's just Embrace. Yeah, it's Embrace. Embrace.
Here we go. Let's see.
I can put it up here.
Let's see.
Is that stretched out? I don't know. But okay. Yeah, like I haven't posted anything
Okay.
yet, but I have my Patreon linked and my Instagram linked.
Oh, you have a Patreon?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's gonna be the main way that I um,
Okay.
do things.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see that content up, man, because I'm a huge fan of documentaries. I actually watched like a few recently. Well, obviously probably not the best ones, but
Right. Yeah. Like
no,
I didn't
but
really know how to make documentaries because
yeah,
the videos that I have on my normal channel are just like me screwing around with my
yeah,
brother, my friends, and
yeah. No, and trust me, those are I get a kick out of them sometimes. Some of
Mhm.
those are hilarious. Like they'll just randomly pop up on my feed, and I'm like, all right, let me watch it. This one again. I think there's one where when you had your blonde hair, I watched that one like probably like 10, 20 times, just because you and blonde hair is hilarious.
Yeah.
Just as me with blonde hair was hilarious. Yeah, that was horrible. I'm never gonna do that again.
Yeah. No, I might do like a neon green.
What are the odds? What are the odds you do?
I probably will, most likely. Well, not neon green, but I'll probably dye my hair at some point after the
Nice.
wedding.
I could I could probably see you with like like some silver tips, or if you go like gray or silver, I could see you with that. That actually look pretty
Yeah.
good.
When it's sunny out, like in the summertime, my hair will turn red. Do you remember that?
I do. I really do. Because your dad's hair is like red, no?
Yeah, he's a straight up.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I remember you were telling me like you guys don't understand. Like my dad's red, like
Yeah.
red. And I remember when they came to Pennsylvania and I met your parents. I'm like, damn, he wasn't kidding. It's like wow. Oh man, but yeah, that was
Mhm.
it's so crazy because you look at people's parents sometimes and you see their kids and they're like, okay, I see that, I don't see that. That's what? Like me, like me for example, you could say like, oh yeah, you can just because I have both traits of my mom and my dad. So it's like, okay, I could see it. My brother Noah and my brother Ethan, they're both my dad. And my brother Lucas, if you were to turn him around and just see blonde curly hair, you'd be like, that doesn't belong here.
Like,
You
um,
know?
what happened?
Yeah, exactly. What happened there?
Yeah.
Which is actually this is a funny story. So when my mom got pregnant, because after my brother Ethan was born, when there were just three of us there, I remember hearing it for years. That's it, no more, we're done. Like that's it. I guess they're retired from babies. So I was like, all right. So then the seventh grade year was ending, and my old man picks me up and he's like, oh, by the way, don't forget to congratulate your mom. I'm like, for what? Are we gonna give her another "Hey mom, you're the best" award, or did she get a job or what? He's like, no, your mom's pregnant. And of course I'm 13. I'm like, bullshit. Like you're lying, liars. And then I come home and on the floor, baby magazines, the old stroller, freaking pictures, like and all this stuff, like ordering a bunch of like I don't know if you ever heard of it, Wick. It's like pretty much like a place where pregnant mothers go and they get like discounted like milk and cereals and all that.
No,
And
I've
like
never been
all
a
that.
pregnant mother.
Oh
No.
no, well that's true. That's true. But I see all that stuff. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like either this is legit true or this is the greatest prank ever and I'm being bamboozled. Which honestly, I thought I was. I thought they were literally like doing this to spite me, to like literally get me. And my mom's like, "Hey, you're gonna have a fourth." And then of course, a few years later, I find out he was the greatest accident to ever happen. But yeah, like he's my youngest brother. If you turn him around, you'd be like, he does not belong here because he's blonde and he's curly. But then you turn him around and you see him, and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's Veronica. That's my mom." And I think I don't know. I think it's just so funny when things you're like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense. Oh, oh man. So, all right. So you got Embrace going on. You're working on those projects, and
Yeah.
you're still working for Bobby and his ministry.
Hmm.
So, and then you're also, and then you obviously you work for Cheesecake Factory.
Hmm.
How are you not getting big from all them damn cheesecake?
I am. I'm
Yeah.
not. It, the screen only goes down to here. No,
Oh
but
man.
like I don't get a whole lot of free cheesecake. It's because their cheesecake is so rich. Like I've only had like three pieces the entire time that I've worked there because
And
it just one piece is like two meals worth. I don't know how people eat it.
I don't know. It's like honestly, I had a slice last time I went, and it was like this blueberry like cream cheesecake. Oh, it was so good. But yeah, I had one slice, and it's like that was basically like my dinner.
Mm-hmm.
My dinner. And then of course, Emily's family fed me freaking like Puerto Rican food, and it was a lot. So I was like, ooh, ooh. Yeah, that was painful, but that's such good cheesecake. But anyway, enough about cheesecake. So I follow you on Instagram, and you're also a photographer. I follow your photography page. I see
Mm-hmm.
a few of your pictures, man. They're really beautiful. I
Mm-hmm.
just saw one of them where you took one on the balcony, and basically it was one of people getting married. No?
Yeah, yeah. So, Bobby does model photography and wedding photography, and
Yeah.
I'll go with him I'll be his second shooter. So he's the main shooter, I'm the second shooter, and then I'm also we also have someone who does video. And
Yeah.
so there's like
Okay.
different types of packages, and
Yeah.
like I don't know, you could look him up. It's Bobby Kenny the third. But like we do we've done I think three. No, we've done a few weddings, and like that was the most recent one that he posted on his wedding page, and I was like,
Mm.
that's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
he thinks mine's good enough to go on his wedding because he has some good pictures on there.
Yeah, no, I've seen some of his pictures. It's just like wow, but then I see some of yours and I'm just like wow. Well, you've always had that gift of the eye with whether it's filming or it's like just taking a picture. Like you've had that eye where it's just like damn, like that looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I have a few pictures that I need to like post, but I don't want to post them for just no reason, or for people
Yeah.
to just see them and be like, "Oh, cool." I want them to like see them and be like, "Wow, this is attractive," and then it'll just put them into my videos, and then like it'll like suck them in, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like posting for no reason, but
Yeah, no, that's the same with me. I rarely post. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, well, obviously there's one of his fiance. There's a buttload of him
yeah,
and
his
fiance
personal
Caitlin.
has been mostly her.
Yeah. Which one, as you said, is his wedding stuff? Oh,
Um,
here it is. Here it is. I
the
see it.
weddings one, yeah.
Yeah, weddings. There you go. I'm like, it's all listed right there. Let's
But
see.
yeah, that most recent one
Wow.
is mine.
That's wow. There's that one of them walking down the aisle. There's the bridesmaids doing their makeup, one of the shoes, and then one of the fire. Wow,
That's my
that
favorite. That one.
that one of the fireworks.
Yeah.
Wow, that is insane. I don't know. Wow, damn. I'm thinking about hiring you two for my wedding when I get married.
Dude, do it.
I'm
Honestly, do
I
it.
might
We're
see it.
traveling down to Florida later, and
Yeah,
we're it's gonna be so much fun. We're doing that for a wedding, and then I think um we're fairly open scheduled after that.
yeah. Well, I'm not getting married for quite some time. I'll tell you the details when we're finished.
Right, yeah, I need to. I think that's the biggest thing is that Bobby's in my wedding, and
Yeah.
so as of right now, we only have someone doing video. Like we don't have a photographer set up yet.
Oh, that's true. That's right, because you have him in your wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, congratulations. I never got to tell
Good
you
thing.
like that face to face.
Thanks.
Man, I'm so happy for you, especially with how young you are too. I'm like, damn, that takes honestly when you first announced it, I'm like, damn, he's got balls. Like honestly, I'm like, cause honestly, me preferably, if I was in your shoes, I would never have done that at 20 years old. Cause I just know me personally, I wouldn't be ready. But damn,
Mhm,
dude, that made me real happy for both of you.
mhm.
Really, really happy. Oh man, but yeah, for sure, I'll for sure hire you two for hell for the wedding, and don't worry, I'll pay you all handsomely, because Christian makes good money at FedEx.
Good.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I mean, wedding pictures aren't cheap. They
Hmm.
are hell for sure not cheap, and of course I'm like, we only need one picture. You can take that on an iPhone, but of course my family and then her family, they'd be like, and probably her too, they'd be like, why the hell are there no pictures?
Yeah.
I don't want to pay the money for the damn for pictures that we won't even look at except for the one picture.
Yeah, I don't think we charge too much. We charge so much less compared to everyone else in the area. It
Oh
is crazy.
no, it's ridiculous. Like my friend of mine who actually like looking for the word here. Words are hard. Brain power. I guess he like convinced me to do net. Yeah, he convinced me to do net, and he just got married, man. But their wedding in total costed about 6 grand.
Hmm.
2 grand of that was to the damn photographers and the videos. And what was and the other 4 grand was to, for one, the ballroom, which is a beautiful ballroom,
Hmm.
flowers and all that. The flowers, the dresses, the suits, the rented suits. His own suit, he wore all white. He wore all white, and he bought it. The suits, the shoes, the renting the car, which was a beautiful car, and then obviously the honeymoon. All that, $6,000. But two of that was for the damn photographer. It was
Wow.
ridiculous. It's so absurd. All for just some pictures that are gonna be with you all for the rest of your life. Oh
Yeah, that's what
man.
makes it worth it, though. Like,
Yeah, that's true. But man, I don't know about bleeding $2,000 just for pictures.
yeah,
Ooh,
no, we don't charge that much.
that's just like whoa, that was insane. But no, man, I'm really proud. But honestly, what? Because honestly, this is something I've kind of been thinking about. What was like your thought process when you knew and you were confident, like, okay, today I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get on the knee. I'm gonna pop the question. Like, how was the feeling? I've always wanted to know. I've
So the
always
thought
wanted to know.
process was like the whole week leading up to it.
Yeah,
And then I couldn't think at all. Like my brain just stopped working that day. So here's the story.
yeah.
We went to California for my birthday, and we're
Hmm.
gonna stay through 4th of July. So that's like a week. And then I decided that while we were there, there's a retreat center that I can propose to her at because it's like on the beach and it has like this really pretty sunset.
Oh
And
wow,
like we could do it in like in front of the Statue of Mary.
yeah,
So all that was planned, and then the ring was an heirloom, and it was perfect. It was exactly what I would have gotten if I like bought one.
yeah,
So like I had the ring, I put it in a box, and I brought it with me to California, and then
yeah,
like I was hiding it, and then the day that we were leaving
yeah,
to like go through the area and like tour the area, and then we were gonna end the day at the retreat center.
yeah,
That day I decided that it's shaking a lot and inside the box, and the box is not meant for rings or anything, it's meant for rosaries.
yeah,
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go run back inside. I'm gonna go get a different box. So they were all getting into the car,
yeah,
and all of my boxes were in my bedroom. And she was sleeping in my bedroom, and I was sleeping on the couch. And so
yeah.
I ran into my bedroom, and I was like sorting through all the boxes I had. And she walked in. She was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I'm looking for like I'm just looking for something before I leave." And she's like, "What are you looking for?" I was like, it's like a box, like a small box. I have tons of boxes. I don't know where they are." And she's like, "Oh, would this one work?" And she picks up the box that the ring is in, and she shakes it, and she's like, "Oh, something is in here." And she opens it, and she sees the ring, and she's like, "Oh." and then and then I'm like, "Okay, just ignore that. Like, let's just go. I'll use that box. It's fine. Let's just go." So she knew it was gonna happen during the trip. And then when we got there, it was supposed to be sunset, but it was cloudy, so there was no sunset. And then like my stomach started to hurt really bad because I was nervous. So I wouldn't stop complaining about that.
Oh,
And she could tell. So she was just kind of helping me through it, but I don't know. And then I asked her, and she said yes, and I was like, ooh. And we got pizza.
oh my God, that is a story for the ages. Oh shit. Oh, that is amazing. But hey, man, God bless it to you for you to stay composed and still like, you know what? We're
I
doing
did
it.
not. I did not stay composed. I
Yeah.
lost it.
Oh man, that is funny. That is so funny. Oh, well, did your stomach feel better afterwards?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
We
good,
got some pizza, and
good.
yeah,
I had a way to cure a
that
stomach
helped.
ache. Get some
Yeah.
pizza. Oh man, man. What? So when's the date? When's the date? I know it's August, but
August 14th.
August 14th. Yeah, I will be there. I will be there, and don't worry,
Good.
you guys were gonna get your typical wedding gifts, but don't worry, I'm bringing in a special present as well.
Oh, good. That's
Yes.
exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, you'll get a special gift from me. Don't worry about that. Plus, I have been offering my bartending services for the bride and
Hmm.
groom for
Hmm.
an not an after party, but like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, whenever you all are like, hey, we want cocktails, you know who to call. So
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah. Speaking of that, which I'm not gonna be living here no longer by the end of this summer.
Oh yeah, you're moving to California.
I'm moving to California. Yes,
Congrats,
sir.
dude.
Yeah, the
Wow.
northern California. But
Yes, that's the kind of the place to be. Not
yes, it
really,
is.
but it's great.
Honestly, and don't get me wrong, I love Southern California. Like I don't love the city of LA, but I like a lot of the teams. I don't like the Lakers, but I was a fan of Shaq and Kobe and I love LeBron. So any team that LeBron goes to, I'm instantly like there. I'm a bandwagon sort of say. So wherever teams you go to, oh, I'm a fan of that team now.
Hmm.
But no, I love the Athletics, so I love Oakland. I love Oakland so much. I'm kind of glad the Raiders are.
Wait, what?
I'm glad the Raiders are gone. They are gone out of Oakland. They are now belong to Vegas. So they're Vegas's problem now. So good riddance is what
It's
I
the
should say.
only California team I will support in this.
Not anymore. Yeah, they
Yeah.
belong to Vegas, but hey,
So when they
they're
left, the Rams came in, and I took the Rams, and I was like, okay, let's do that then.
well now there's the LA Rams, there's the LA Chargers too. So now there's two teams you can
Mm.
support. Yeah, but not the biggest Rams fan, so whatever. But no, I've always loved like the SoCal culture. Like of course Disneyland is fantastic. I love that place, but I love San Diego. That place is beautiful,
Mhm.
especially the San Diego Zoo. Speaking of zoos, man, you're a huge fanatic with animals, more preferably dogs.
Gee, come here. Come here. I'll
Oh,
get my dog
there you
right
go.
now. Come here.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on. She's taking a nap. Come here. Come here.
Oh, look at that. She's a pretty one.
So our snow is like melting right now because it's like it's warm and everything.
Yeah,
And she likes to run around with the neighbor's dog,
yeah.
and she came back inside yesterday and she was just absolutely covered in mud.
Wow, gross.
Yeah. So she got a bath yesterday.
Oh my gosh, what kind of dog is she?
She's a Beagle German Shepherd mix.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like she looks like a shepherd, but
Hmm.
it's like not a
She's really
shepherd.
small for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but oh, she's gorgeous. She is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Hi, girl. No, she is gorgeous. No, I bring my dog out, but he can't see you, so what's the point?
And she's huge.
Yeah, I could tell. I heard the thunk. I heard the thunk.
That's a
Nah,
good
but
girl.
no, but that's one of the honestly the qualities I think I really like. Just I found really like intriguing was how I guess how in tone with you are with animals. Like, and it
Yeah.
was obviously preferably dogs. I know you love dogs, but man, you just had a thing with animals, man. And me personally, I love well, obviously the animals that I love, they're extinct. I love dinosaurs. So so dinosaurs were my animals. They were my animals, of course. But then I recently got into like tigers. I recently got into tigers. Like, well, I've always been I love tigers a little bit, but they were overshadowed by my love of dinosaurs until all of a sudden I remember we went to the my first year we went to the Toledo Zoo and there was a tiger there. And I was like, if only that tiger was white. I love white tigers. I've always loved white tigers since I first saw one at the San Diego Zoo. And man, I like a part of me wishes I was like I had money, and if I had to blow money on anything, I'd blow it on a white tiger. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure if I were to play in there with that tiger, he'd probably gobble me up, and I'd probably have to explain to the man upstairs why I bought a tiger. But no, man, like I don't know. I don't know how you can explain it with animals, but I think animals are just one of the most some animals. I can't say all of them because there's some animals that are just pests.
Yeah, so I think there was a total of 2 dogs that took longer than 10 minutes to warm up to me. Besides that, they were basically instant.
No, they're. I mean, I remember, man. There'd be like the neighbor, like the houses we'd stay at on net. There'd be dogs that were wild and crazy, and all you do is you walk up and you're like, "Come here," and then they're like, it's perfect definition of man's best friend. It'd be like, "What the
Mhm.
fuck? Like, how is this possible? He just has the secret ingredient." And then I kind of had a theory of like, what if he snips some drugs? Like, what if he's like, "Come here," and like, behave, you will behave, and the dog's like, "Listen to you." That was a little theory I had in my head, but again, just theories. Oh,
So I just did a little bit of research. A white tiger with black stripes costs about the same price as a brand new Honda Civic. So,
yep, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen anytime soon.
yeah.
Plus, I don't even know where I put the damn thing. I can't
But
put him in the yard.
if you want it to be white without stripes, that's going to be the price of a brand new McLaren.
Jesus. Well, thank goodness I like it with stripes. Thank goodness I like it with stripes. But Jesus, man, McLaren. Now, have you ever seen a McLaren?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never, I've never seen one before.
Driving around LA, you'll see them like left and right.
I've
And
never
then
seen one.
so I'm not a huge fan of like hypercars, but I do know a lot of like fancy sports cars, and then you get up from like Porsches to McLarens and everything. And like the Aston Martins are really nice.
And
That's
what's like your dream car? Because this is something I don't get to talk about a lot because I don't know a lot about cars. So when someone who knows a lot about cars, I get to like okay reap their information.
yeah, so I think my dream car would be oh man. It wouldn't be exotic. It wouldn't be super exotic. It would be kind of sporty.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I would want a Nissan GTR. I'd want it to be
Ooh.
black, like completely black, um, with some bag suspension and like, oh, yeah, I like the GTRs, man.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
No, those are
They
really
remind me of
nice.
Hot Wheels. Like they remind me of like
Yes.
it's like a car that just looks like a toy.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
honestly.
cool.
Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna look these suckers up. Nissan.
Like the newer
Nissan
ones look just as good as the older ones.
GTR. Okay. Let's see. Images. Images. Wow. Look at that. Look at that thing. Let's see. Let me screen share
But I would also like to live in a school bus. So
it. Oh my God. Like, God bless. I mean, look at that thing.
hmm
That is, wow. I mean, that is gorgeous. I love, obviously, the white one.
hmm
And there's an orange one there, too. Yeah, those are insane. Man, you want to know what my freaking dream car is?
What?
Here, let me look it up real quick. Let me look it up. Oh my God. Let's see.
I think I would also like to take like an older Mustang, like a 70s, 60s Mustang, and make
Ooh,
it
those
electric.
those are really nice.
Yeah. Like the car I
Let's
drive now, I think so it's a 94 Mustang. Um, and I got it for free. And
Nice. Didn't you last time we spoke? I think you said you had to like fix it up as like a little project.
Yeah, yeah, it's basically a project car, but until the summer, it'll be my daily driver. So I got to keep it working until
No,
then.
that's-
You like
yeah,
the
no.
Jurassic Park Jeep?
Jurassic Park Jeeps are my favorite. They're my absolute favorite car. I want one of them so bad.
Be nice.
They're just my favorite. That car and then if I had to get like kind of an exotic but not super crazy sports car, I'd have to do I'd have to do um a cherry red Viper, Dodge Viper.
Mm.
Cherry red Dodge Viper. I have always just was in love because the reason why I fell in love with them is because when I was younger, I was a fan of skating. I was really into the skate scene.
Hmm.
My cousins were, so thus I was. But man, I remember when Tony Hawk had a cherry red Viper, and I just fell in love with it instantly because I'm just one. I don't personally like to wear red because I don't think I look good in red. But man, I just pictured myself in that cherry red, crisp Dodge Viper going down the highway. I'm like, oh, this would be such a dream to like drive. Just a dream to even step in it, let alone drive it, just to like sit in it,
Hmm.
you know. But of course, dreams are dreams, and
Dude,
that's
that was my car. The Jeep Wrangler. That was a 1990 Jeep Wrangler, and that's the kind of car I
dang.
drove in
Was
high school.
was it an automatic or was it a stick shift?
It was an automatic,
Ah, okay, but still, I mean, still, man. Oh,
right?
jeez, man. I still when I because that was the first car that my parents owned was a 2000 or a 1999 like maroon Jeep Grand Cherokee, and so I would just forever it was Jeeps. Jeeps were and they were great cars, and I remember when my this is a kind of a petty but sad story. I remember my parents were trading it in and I was like, "What are you doing? No, not the car." And then they put us in another Jeep Grand Cherokee, except it was white. I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, it's another Jeep." They're like, "Yeah, it's white, and a newer model." So I'm like, "All right, this will have to do." That's what happens when you're the firstborn son. You're entitled to everything. But no, man, Jeeps were. Man, other than gas, I'm still kind of like, with them,
Yeah, they're getting there.
they're getting there.
It'll be
They're
electric
absolutely getting
soon.
there. Yeah. Oh man, but no man, there's I don't know. The same way with guys have with sports or people have with guns or I think there's just something special about a man and his car. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? When you just know it like it's yours, like this is your baby, it's like
it's like, yeah, cars are like the most expensive hobby, definitely.
oh, most definitely. Like
And
me for right
like,
now, my hobby is obviously hats, but also my hobby is suits. I'm actually buying a suit for y'all's wedding. It's $800 by the way, so y'all should feel honored.
that's more than that might be just more than the wedding, the whole wedding. We've been so well. Like we're getting everything that we want for the wedding
Dang,
for amazing price. I don't know how we do it, but
that's insane. No, that's awesome because you hear of weddings and it's always like, oh, they're so expensive, they're so expensive, they're so expensive. But that's a rare treat, that's a rare treat you all have. But anyway, like obviously, what were you saying? Like obviously with cars, like yeah, it's an expensive
oh
hobby.
yeah, like I've put I think only if $50-$60 into the Mustang, and
Yeah,
I have a list on my phone like of all the work that needs to be done to it, and then all of the work that I want to do to it.
yeah.
And it's a lot. Like that's basically just another car at that point.
Yeah, basically, it's like you're buying another car
Hmm.
just to restore this old car.
Hmm.
But I mean, like I have friends of mine that have those like, except they're not Mustangs. They're working more like on trucks.
Hmm.
But like they're like old trucks. They're like trucks from like I think the last thing he said was like a Ford from like the 80s or something like that. It's one of them old ass. No, I think it's a Bronco, an old Bronco from the 80s. It's an old ass Bronco from the 80s, and he's like the dude pretty much said he was giving it to my friend was like if you can fix it up, I'll give it to you for free. But then he's like, yeah, dude, I'm getting it for free. I'm like, no, you're not. You're gonna spend like over half of 10 G's fixing that car. It's not free. You're pretty much paying him, or you're paying the car money that you could have gotten for free. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, hey, it's a Bronco. Speaking
Mhm.
of Broncos, have you seen the new Ford Broncos? The new
Mhm.
ones that are coming out. Oh
That's
my
amazing.
goodness, I gotta look these up. These are, oh my goodness, these are beautiful cars. My cousin Mike's actually thinking about getting one, and I'm like, you sly bastard, because he gets a truck like every like 3 years. Like he trades in his old one, and he gets like a brand new, like he gets a brand new truck. It's like, guy, get a vehicle and stick with it. The Ford Bronco 2021. Dude, these things are just so pretty to look at. Images. Boom. Look at that thing. I think that's the regular two passenger one.
Mhm.
And and then here's the other one right here. That's the one's like the four passenger. That's actually a nice color too. Like Jesus. But no, I've actually this you know when I'm actually researching a car, I actually am like giving a shit about this car because I'm not the biggest brain when it comes to cars, but no, apparently these cars are like really, really, really good.
Mhm.
Very good. Obviously, 4x4. If you got 4x4, it's like shit. You already got me hooked. But everything else about it, like the interior of it, the off-roading is amazing. It's just, oh my goodness,
They are nice.
very nice cars. I want one, but I can't afford one.
Right.
It's
No.
like it's like that
Anyone at
song.
our age can't afford
Yeah.
anything really.
Yeah, it's like that song by 50 Cent, Window Shopper. That's how I feel when I shop for things I can't have. It's like I'm just window shopping. Oh my goodness. Like I said, there's nothing better than just man in his car. I mean, for me, I don't know. For me, when like I don't necessarily like mean like it's like a car. I mean, for me, it's like shoes. Like there's nothing better when you just have the right pair of shoes and you just slip them on your feet and you can just walk down the street and you feel like, yep, these are my shoes. Like obviously the shoe right now, especially with the Michael Jordan documentary that just came out, The Last Dance. Have you watched that by the way?
Mhm.
It's actually if you want to, I think it's a good. Obviously, it's a sports documentary, completely different. But if you want like a great example of like documentaries, watch that one. Like even though it's like, I know you really don't give a shit about sports, but it's just a really good documentary, just like about the Bulls dynasty in the '90s and about how Michael Jordan was and how he was playing. It's a really good documentary. But of course, as you know, the most popular sneaker shoe ever in the history of the world is the Jordans.
Mhm.
Like, did you ever own a pair of Jordans?
Yeah. Once.
Not
One pair of Jordans.
one pair.
And those things I never really wanted to wear them because I knew that they were Jordans and
Yeah.
they were pretty good ones too. Like I don't remember what they were, but they were nice. They were okay, they were nice Jordans.
They,
And so I never wore them. And then I outgrew them. And so I had to give them away.
damn. Oh man, that's horrible. That sounds like a crime. That literally sounds like a crime.
I was a kid.
Oh man, what like no, the number one selling pair of Jordans is oh god damn it. Is these ones right here.
Hmm.
The shit. There we go. The Air Jordan 11 Space Jams. The ones for Space Jam, the Space Jam movie, these are like still the number one selling sneaker store, more than even the original Jordan 1. Like these are still like the top best-selling sneaker like out there, which is crazy because these were made like in like 1995, 96, I believe, or even earlier, probably like 94. But yeah, I've seen a pair of these go for literally over $200,000. It's insane. But if I don't know. Like people always ask me like, would you ever own a pair of Jordans? And me personally, I'd say no, just because I've tried them on. Like I've gone to Foot Locker, I've tried. Obviously, like these are the ones I tried, the North Carolina blue and white and black ones. But for me, honestly, I just look at me in them and I'm just like, I do not look good in these shoes. Like they're a beautiful shoe, but I think I'm just too damn ugly for the damn shoe. But they're such nice shoes, but god damn, like it pisses me off that I can't rock them. Like they don't go with me.
Mm-hmm.
And like the shoe that I guess the shoe that I was like really always entranced by was the Air Force shoes, like the high top Air Force shoes, like like this. No, that's whatever. Like these, or not that, but yeah, like that.
The white, yeah.
Yeah, like God, those are just gorgeous. Or like something like that even. Such a beautiful shoe. Like the Air Forces, those are a really nice shoe. But no, sneakers is another expensive hobby.
Yeah.
That's something that yeesh. You can spend over like $2,000 on sneakers if you had the money to do it, or probably even more. Look at that one. Yeah, but no, everyone's always asked me like, did you ever own a pair of sneakers? Did you ever own a pair of Jordans? And I was like, no, never did. And of course, a lot of people's answers were like, oh, what? Those are the best shoes. I'm like, I know they're the best shoes, but problem is, I'm too ugly for the damn shoes. That was my answer to everyone, and everyone was like, oh my god, you know how people
A
are.
lot of
But
like collectors, they don't even wear them.
yeah, exactly. A
Keep
lot of
them.
people, they just keep them in their closets, still even in like the vacuum sealed like plastic cases. It's insane. Like I don't know if you watch those YouTube videos where um they take like a celebrity or a sports star or whatever or whoever, and they take them sneaker shopping on
Yeah.
Complex, I think it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, they're buying these shoes, but they ain't gonna wear them. They're still gonna
Yeah.
be in the box. They're still gonna be tucked in their closet. They ain't gonna be used at all, which is like that's a damn shame.
I
Damn shame.
have, let me see here. I have one pair of shoes that I got at a thrift store unused for $4. I looked them up, and apparently they're $400 shoes, but they're super rare, and they're
Oh my god.
skateboarding shoes.
What kind of are they? DC, Americas,
No,
or
they're Nike. They
oh, they're Nike?
I think they're like a Rodriguez. Like he had like a shoe made.
Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, they're outside, I guess. But
Here, I'll
like
I'll look them up right
I
now.
I love buying shoes that are like expensive. I like getting them for really cheap and then just destroying them, just to make people a little bit upset. Just
Let's see. Paul Rodriguez skate shoe. Oh my god. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna screen share so I can find it. Paul Rodriguez skate shoe. Stop sharing. Let's see. Wow. Was it?
it was the Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it.
A pro skater Paul Rodriguez skate shoe. These are wow.
They were super hard to find. Like it's these ones.
Which
Um, let me share my screen real quick.
all right. Go back to Skype. Um,
Let's see here. Okay. It was these ones right here. I have them. And
Wow, those are holy hell. Those are nice.
yeah, but they're absolutely destroyed. That's like that's the thing. That's I just I,
Those ones are the ones with like the Mexican colors on them. Those are the
mhm,
ones that like really caught my eye. I
mhm,
think they were in honor. I just saw them. I think they were in honor of Julio Cesar Chavez, the boxer.
mhm.
Yeah, but no, those are God. Those are really nice shoes. Like skate shoes, honestly, I really was really into collecting skate shoes just because one, I used to skate, and two, I just thought they were cool ass shoes. Like I don't know. Do you play video games still?
Yeah. Well, I've been playing specifically Minecraft. That like just
Nice.
Minecraft. I've been going hard on that part.
Damn. Well, I am the opposite. I've still yet to play Minecraft. That's a game that I don't know. That's just one of those games where I'm like I'm too dumb to play this game. But no, they just released I don't know if you ever played them, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. They
Yeah.
just re-released the remastered ones, and oh
Mhm.
my God, some of the apparel for like especially the shoes. Like there's some shoes where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember seeing a pair of those, or I remember seeing a pair of those, or like these Nikes or Americas or Emericas is what I like to call them because they're not America with an A with an E, but and obviously the DCs and Nike and Vans and all that. There's like so many of those shoes. I'm like, I remember when sometimes we go to like Journeys or Vans or whatever, and they have skate shoes, and it just be like, I don't know, especially as a kid, you think like, oh, this shoe will make me like a better skater. Like the
Yeah.
shoes will give you the magic. Like, what's that movie with a little Bow Wow when he gets like Michael Jordan's like North Carolina
Oh,
sneakers? Uh,
I don't know.
shit.
But I
Like
know what you're
like
talking
Mike,
about.
like Mike,
Like
like
Mike.
Mike. Yeah, when he's like he ties on the shoes and he's gonna do like the fan 3-point contest. He's like, make me like Mike, and then he's like, and then he turns into Michael Jordan. Like
I
I
remember the
thought that was.
trailer way more than I actually remember that movie. Or
Oh man. Yeah, I just remember like, damn, look, he did it. He got a pair of magic shoes and he was like, man, he did a dunk and he's like 4'10" and he like shot a three from half court. It's like, damn, I need the shoes that make you better. But then again, that's how every kid. I don't know. That's to me when I was growing up. That's how every kid thought. I remember when the Nike Shocks were a thing. Do you remember those?
no.
No, they were here. Let me find them. These were like the shoe of I don't know. I thought now that I think about it, they were ugly shoes. But I mean, now that I think about it, they were ugly shoes. Let's see. Oh yeah, there they are. Oh my God. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Look at these
Oh.
things.
Oh, I know
They're
someone who has those.
yeah, they're ugly ass shoes. Look at this. Look at these things. That ugly. Oh my God, what is that? That looks like something that Thanos would wear. Like, yeah, but I remember these were the shoes that like ran like the 2000s. I remember every kid at school had a pair of these. Even the girls had a pair of these. Like it was insane how popular these were. And then I even had a pair. I wish I could have kept them because now they go for literally over like $300 because they just don't make them anymore. But yeah, these were the shoe like back in the day of the 2000s. Which honestly, man, 2000s. Then again, the 2000s did not have good. They did not have good taste in style. But them baggy jeans and like the denim whole outfit. Oh, like some of the 2000 styles was just god awful, horrible. Like I remember, like there's a There's a thing when Kelly Clarkson first auditioned for American Idol and her outfit. Ooh, it's so bad. Let me find it. Let me
I don't
find it.
remember those days. I
Oh
was
man.
I was a little baby.
Let me see. Kelly Clarkson 2000. Here we go. Let me see. Let me find it. Um. Oh, no, that's not it. Kelly audition outfit. There it is. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at that. What? Could you imagine going to a national music audition wearing that? Like you're on live TV and you're wearing that. Like, oh my goodness.
I'm glad I was born when all this style ended.
Yeah. It gets
I'm glad
even
we grew out of it.
yeah, it's even worse. Like, oh my goodness. Let's see, like 2000s fashion. Like it gets even worse. Like yikes. Like look at this. Jesus Christ. You got Paris Hilton. You got who's that? That's so Raven. Oh, and here's one of Britney, I think. Jesus. Like yeah, that's what was swag back then. Look at that. God awful. There's got to be
And the
a
guys would just wear like plaid and jeans.
yeah. This is what the dudes would wear. Literally,
Yeah.
this isn't sync. That's in sync. That's what the dudes would wear. And look at little Justin Timberlake. Oh man. Oh my God. Yeah, thank God I was a kid back then before I even knew all this even existed. Let's see. There's got to be one more. Oh God, I think that's Fergie. Yeah, that's Fergie. Oh my God. Like what is that? Okay, I'm getting a headache from just looking at this. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh man, but yeah, that's. I think. Do you find this such a trip on how like not just in fashion, but like in shoes and cars and lifestyle changed so dramatic, like literally in the past like 20, well now 21 years.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
insane.
Well,
Like,
it's interesting to look at trends of like how quickly things actually change. Like if you go through the 1900s, you could see like a definite change between the 10s and 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Like you could see that how it develops, and it's weird.
it's so weird. Like I remember, like I know in the 1910s, there's guys, and I think these are like the most like of gentlemen, wearing tight, crisp suits with their golden pocket watches, smoking a cigar. Obviously, then they had the freaking curly ass mustaches because John L. Sullivan, the first heavyweight boxing champion, made that style like crisp or like the style in the 1890s, all the way till the obviously the 1900s. But then, of course, styles really started to take part because baseball was like in its prime in the 1910s, the 20s, and the 30s. Babe Ruth style was like the French hats with the suit and like the dress pants, but like up to the knees with the polo socks all the way up. Like that was the style back then. And then of course you got the style now, obviously the Roaring 20s and 30s, and then the 40s came and it was still more of a like a traditional. And then of course in the 40s and 50s, and then the 60s came, and that's what the sex revolution and the hippies all came out. And then the god awful 70s came out with the bell jeans, and then the 80s came out with the rocker hair and the rock and roll lifestyle. And then of course towards the late 80s, that's came the hip hop style, and then the early 90s with NWA and gangster rap came out, and of course the 90s style, and then obviously the 2000s and so on. But yeah, it's so insane how one person can start what looks like an ugly, god awful outfit or whatever it is they're doing, and then boom, then millions of people start like taking out after it. It's ridiculous, but at the same time, it's like it's so fascinating
Hmm.
because I think the human mind really wants to, like you said, going back to like people's needs. People want a social need of acceptance. Like in order to be accepted, you have to do this or you got to do that. And I myself, I'm guilty because of it. Like that's why I bought them ugly ass Nike Shocks because all the kids had them. So I told my mom, hey, I gotta have them Shocks. But we can't afford them. Well, we gotta do something because I gotta have them. You know. But uh, I mean, I still see it prevalent. I mean, it's still prevalent nowadays. I think it's even now worse. I think it's worse and more than ever for kids, especially kids. Like I don't know. Like my brother, take one of my brothers for example. He's very reserved. He's a lot more reserved. Like he doesn't like, I don't want to say shy, but he doesn't like put himself out there. But a few of his buddies were trying to get him to play football. Because he quit football his middle school year, but they were trying to get him back to play his freshman year. And and he was almost about to do it, but then I asked him, "Do you really want to play again?" I asked him, "Do you really want to play? Do you really want to put yourself out there?" And he's like, "No, not really." So then why do you want to do it? Well, because my friends are going to do it. I want to be with my friends. I'm like, well, why be miserable and possibly like, you know, screwing yourself up mentally by not being happy just to be with friends? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Goddamn kids these days. Oh man, but oh shit. All right, one more drink.
Can't believe we were kids at one point in our lives.
I know it's such a trip. Like I look at old pictures, like I just cleaned out my closet like about a year ago, and I found like this old scrapbook my mom made for me, and yeah, at first like you look through and like oh my god, this is so embarrassing, but at least to me, yes, we were kids, we were probably little shits to our parents, driving them up a wall, giving them gray hairs, but at the same time, that was a time where we had no responsibility. We had no care in the world. For me, all I wanted to do was be outside and play, and just, that's all I wanted to do. And now sometimes I don't even get that because one, it's like, hey, I want to go shoot hoops. Oh, I'm busy at work. Oh, I got this to do. Oh, I got this and that and that. You can't do that anymore. And there's a lot of times in those points, like, man, we used to do that all the time, and we do it forever, and we didn't have to worry about like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I need to go lie down. Like, no, we can go forever, and it wouldn't make a difference.
I don't know how that works though. Like I don't know how kids have energy.
Yeah, I don't understand it
That is
either.
foreign to me.
It is, but no, I mean, honestly, those are some of the times when I wish, not that I wish, but I wish you can take like those little things of aspects, like have a week to where like what time period do you want? And I'm like, I want a point of time or something I could take and put it in 1 week where I can have no responsibility. I can play outside and be outside all I want to, play baseball, play basketball, play football, or just hell, just wrestle. Just want to wrestle or just like box my friends or box my cousins. I don't give a shit getting a black eye because that was just fun. That was childhood. I don't know if you could relive a point of your childhood or something like that. Like what would it be?
I don't know. There were times where I would be hanging out with my brother
Yeah.
and it would just it wasn't even about like what we were doing because we would find something to do and
Yeah.
then we would just kind of do that until we got bored. But we wouldn't get bored for hours.
Yeah.
For
Uh,
like it would take up until like the next meal or something.
Damn. Well, I mean, that's just the power of imagination.
Hmm.
It's the power of imagination. But no, okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think imagination is being like kind of killed off because the way to like I guess deal with kids now is just to hand them a tablet or a cell phone?
Yeah, definitely. No, easy peasy. I don't
Yeah.
think kids these days have a thought in their head to themselves. Like they have no time to do anything because as soon as they're not doing something and they show signs of boredom, someone's going to try to fix that. When
Yeah.
it's totally fine to be bored. Like you should have time to sit there and think about stuff.
Hmm.
Like kids need that to form their brains.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I see it all the I don't know. I think it break not only does it break my heart, but it almost like pisses me off that a kid's not allowed to be a kid anymore because it's almost like they're for sure like, oh, here's my kid. Shut up, you're not behaving here. Here's my cell phone. Play with it. Whereas my punishment when I was a kid is maybe I get a slapping and then I'd be told to go back outside. It's no more
Hmm.
PlayStation 2. Just go outside and go play. Be like, all right. But at first I'd be like, damn it, I was in the middle of a game, but then I forget about it like a 20 minutes, 10 minutes later because I'd be outside playing with my friends or my cousins. Because that was just my imagination. Like, all right, what do we do now? Like, we're done with baseball. It's like, all right, let's play I don't know, we got Legos. Let's build guns and let's go shooting shit. Pretend we're shooting shit. That's what we used to do. And then it even got better because then we actually got pellet guns. We got BB guns, and we would actually shoot each other with it. And like but then like it wouldn't just be shooting each other. It'd be like, all right, let's shoot the trees, or you know what, let's go out in the desert and shoot rocks, pretend they're zombies or whatever. Or that's what we do, and we do that all day long. We do that all day long. We maybe play video games for like an hour or two, and then the rest of it will be like we'd be outside all the damn time, like using our imaginations to just play. And nowadays, I mean, I feel like honestly, teenagers are doing more. Teenagers and like older people are doing more being outside and playing rather than kids. Like for example, I took Emily to play basketball because her thing is like basketball, and
Hmm.
we went to a park that me and my cousins usually play at, and man, it was full of like college kids like playing volleyball, shooting the basketball, or playing on the monkey bars. Like grown ass adults playing on the monkey bars. Like doing that,
Yeah.
and it made me think like, man, did these guys actually did they ever have a childhood, or is this something that they just like, found out like, oh my god, why didn't I do this when I was a kid?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
The
And it's
like I think it goes two ways with that because partially people are keeping their kids inside and that's not good for them. But
yeah,
also outside has gotten so much worse. Like there's so much bad stuff that could possibly happen to someone if they're going outside that wasn't around
yeah,
when like we were kids.
yeah. I agree with that too. Yeah, I
Like
agree with
cars are
that.
faster,
Hmm.
um, are like more
Yeah,
accessible,
yeah,
or
they're
like
prevalent. Hmm.
hmm there's a lot of reasons to keep
Yeah.
people inside too.
Oh, definitely. But I think there's a healthy balance of knowing when like, okay, you can be outside, but from this to this. But I think it's just a horrible thing to be like, oh no, it's too dangerous. We got to keep them inside.
Hmm.
It's like no, if need be, like parents get off your ass and go take your kid to the park. Like go take your kid to the park. Let him play on the monkey bars. Let him fall on his face in the sand. Like kids need more of that. And granted, yes, like when I grew up, we didn't have the best environment to play in, but we didn't care. We just played. We lived next to a mall. Cars were going like, and we'd always cross the street, no fucks given. But that's just we just knew we knew look both ways when you cross the street. Um, if someone smaller is next to you, make sure they hold their hand or do whatever you can to make sure like they don't get left behind or whatever. But there was common sense to like playing, like don't play don't play on the freeway, obviously, because there was literally one right next to my grandma's house because the mall's right there. Like obviously don't play in the middle of the street. Like if you're going to obviously play it, if you're gonna do in the middle of the street, play in the neighborhood, when the cars can't go like 70, 80 miles an hour, or obviously look both ways, and also don't piss people off. If you're gonna piss anybody off, piss the kids off. Don't piss the parents off. That was our number one thing, is like don't piss anybody off, because the last thing we need is for them to complain to our grandmother, and then our grandma's gonna give us a licking, and Lord knows I had too many of those. But no, yeah, I agree. I think people are using the excuse of, oh well, there's a lot of things outside that can be too dangerous, but like I said, I think if it's you have to have the mindset of like, yes, it may be, but there's a time and place for everything. If put them outside at the right time, have a limit. It's like, okay, it's starting to get dark. This is when okay, let's bring them inside. Maybe we put them in the backyard, or I don't know, like do a fun activity inside, or I don't know, but no, I agree. Kids need more of that. They need to spark their imaginations. They need to create. They need to have that. They need to have a fantasy world. They need to have a fantasy world. They need to have their heroes. They need to have their worlds. They need to have their fun. Have their fun. Because I think if you really don't give them that, it could really damage them later. So damage them.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, man. But I'm gonna let you go. But hey, man, thank you so much for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great talking to you.
No problem, man.